Hi traders, welcome to this video with me, John, Senior Market Analyst here at Blueberry Markets. I'm going to take you through an idea that I've got in the markets, and it could be a potential 350 pip trade if I've measured the chart correctly. So looking at a potential move here, but first of all, let's go over some data and stuff. But I want to know, who's your favorite trading mentor? I'd love to bring some people onto the live streams. I've got a guy lined up for next week coming on, Trading Martin, who was meant to come on a couple of times but just hasn't managed to jump on yet. But I'm looking to have people on the channel, so let me know in the comment section and I'll go check them out. Now, you know me, I like to look at Commitment of Trader reports data. I like to use it in my analysis, and I like to look at when extremes are being met in the market. And the Swiss franc is showing some extremes at the moment. So what we've got here is a Swiss franc weekly chart, okay? And what we've got plotted down here is the Commitment of Trader legacy reports. Now, the red line is the commercials, right? So I only look at the commercials when I'm looking for extremes in the market, because they can signal potential tops and bottoms within the market, okay? Because there's a supply and demand issue. Now, commercials are in the business to hedge the markets. So when they are buying, it's when the market is moving down, right? You can see prices moving down here and they are buying. But it gets to a point where it gets to an extreme area, okay, and that then supply outweighs the demand and things like that, or the demand outweighs the supply, and we get a huge sort of reversal. Now, the last time this happened was just prior to June 2019, okay, and the last time that happened, we saw Swiss franc futures move from below 1 all the way up into the 1.1s, even higher up into sort of where we're trading now, into the 1.137s. So I'm looking for a condition of potentially a Swiss franc long, right? Because we have this condition where long contracts are going to in areas where we haven't seen on an extreme level. So it tells me that there's a potential sort of bottom coming into the Swiss franc futures here, and we can see that price has held this 1.1 level really successfully over recent times. So we might actually now be seeing a little bit of a move higher. Now, if that's moving higher, basically this is an inverse chart of dollar Swiss, so dollar Swiss moving to the downside, which I've been trading for the past couple of days now, which has done really well. But what are we going to pair the Swiss franc against? Now, I might be looking at a potential short idea for the Great British Pound. Now, you may be thinking that's absolutely crazy. Pound is moving really aggressively to the upside at the moment. We've just breached the 1.3s, but I think the 1.32 could be a decent little area of resistance for price. The reason being is because obviously physically on the chart, it was an area where we sold off. The market moved lower. But most importantly, I'm looking again at the contracts. What are the contracts doing? What are commercials doing? What are non-commercials doing? Now, if we look at sort of the highs of the non-commercials, right, we can see that they're buying aggressively, buying very aggressively. And then if we look at the short contracts, right, for the commercials, they're selling aggressively. This is what I like to see when there's a potential market top coming in, right? Non-commercial is going to follow trend. They're going to be buying as price moves higher. Commercials are going to be selling as price moves higher, right? But it comes to a point where it gets to an extreme level, and then the market will potentially reverse. So we had it before, and this was one of the areas we had it before, just before August 2023, and then here as well just prior to April of 2024, where we had a decline in price. So I'm looking for a potential top in the pound right now, and I'm looking for it to come around about that 131, 132 handle where we saw that sort of selling coming in the past. Remember, Commitment of Trader report data is based off of weekly changes, okay, weekly chart. So it's not go and buy and sell tomorrow. It's just giving us an idea of what potentially could form within the markets, right? So I like the idea of selling pound potentially and buying Swiss francs. So really speaking, we should go over and have a little look at a pound Swiss chart and see what's going on in this market in particular. And we can see started to see some selling pressure coming into this market now. We've just breached past this 115.50 handle, and it looks as well that we are breaking out of a bullish trending channel right now. And a really important level coming up, we've got this 115.30 where the market found some support and rallied from. So this is a critical point for me, because if we are going to see some downside, I feel like we could see some significant downside into supporting levels. We've got consolidation here. Remember, consolidation would be volume, little consolidation here, volume down here, and some volume down here. So these could be areas that we could go and target on short positions, right? If we look at where resistance was met, look at this little consolidation that formed back on the 28th of May would have been an area of significant volume for price. We know that it would be a significant selling volume, because look what happened after. Price moved a significant way. Now, I'm not saying they're going to defend the levels essentially here and drive price all the way down to that low. That might not be the case. Coming to trader reports will not give us the sort of size of move that's expected. But the fact that we've got two extremes on those two currencies make me think that this could be a really good move. Now, I measured from where this price was all the way down into these lows, and it was around about 350 pips. So if we were to get a substantial move on pound Swiss, then it could come all the way back down into those 122 lows. All I'm saying is there's a signal coming from the commitment of trader reports saying that pound could potentially be at a market top, so we could be looking for some sells, and the Swiss franc is coming into a market low, so it could be looking for potential buying opportunities. And we're seeing that. We're seeing the Swiss franc become strong. Not necessarily seeing GBP weakness at the moment, but we are seeing a Swiss franc strong. So all it's going to take is for pound to start seeing some weakness in the markets, and this market could really get going to the downside. So that is a trade I quite like the idea of at the moment. It's an opportunity I think that could potentially form. Ideally, if I was looking at some opportunity around this, where would I want to do business with the market? Well, potentially where we've had this consolidation around that 116 handle. If price can try and get back into that, then maybe there's a good opportunity to see some selling coming back in, because we've had a consolidation, we've had a bit of a breakout situation going on there. So I wouldn't necessarily mind a retest around that. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section as well. Would love to hear from you, and look forward to speaking to you in the next video. Cheers.